Hi there, this is the weekly forecast for January 27th through February 2nd, 2019. And starting out on Sunday the 27th, the moon in Scorpio will square Mercury in Aquarius. And this square here is an aspect of tension between our approach to issues that we feel we need to speak out on and how that's affecting the feelings of others and impacting those around us. So while it's true that you can only really control your own reactions to things and how you make others feel, you're not really making them feel anything, that doesn't really excuse mistreating others. So be careful that you aren't forcefully putting your words up against the feelings of someone else for a certain reaction, because the moon in Scorpio can bring up a lot of feelings that otherwise we may not want to go into or touch at all. So with a square to Mercury, there is the possibility of hitting others just as hard as we're feeling. So taking a step back and really thinking before we act and focusing on our own state of mind might be a better solution. On Monday the 28th, the moon will be trine Pluto and Jupiter will be trine Mars. So the moon sextile to Pluto really allows us to have the opportunity to express our feelings, and we want to get to the bottom of things and verbalize maybe really vulnerable or intense things that are going on in our own lives. There's an air of wanting to share and wanting to hear that from others as well. And then Jupiter trine Mars brings a lot of exuberant optimism and excitement towards working towards our goals. It seems like the doors are wide open and we can really put our efforts to go through with those opportunities. So both optimism and curiosity are really high. Tuesday the 29th, there will be a Sun-Mercury cazimi in Aquarius, which means that the Sun and Mercury are not only conjunct, but they are right on top of each other within a degree. And usually when a planet is within the beams of the sun, it's combust and it's not thought of as a good thing. But when it's within that 1 degree, it really illuminates the planet, and it's that 1 degree of protection within the combustion outside of it that would not be as productive. So with the Sun and Mercury conjunct in Aquarius, there's heightened exuberance in communication towards new thought ideas and innovation and thinking outside the box and brainstorming. It's a great day to learn something new or look into exploring like something intellectually that really interests you. The mind is really open to grasping new information. Your attention span may not last longer than 5 seconds, honestly, so that is something to keep in mind. But overall, it's a really enlightening, illuminating day. Wednesday the 30th, the moon in Sagittarius will conjunct Jupiter and square Neptune. So we are definitely feeling our own opinions a lot about what is right and what is moral. We can see in the news that there's a lot of speak of, our side of what would solve a moral dilemma. And there's a lot of these idealized up in the air solutions of if only this would be implemented, or if only people would understand my point of view, this could all be solved. But we are a bit disillusioned about what that means in real life. There's a tendency towards these really strong moral convictions that in practice might not make a lot of practical sense. And the reality of where we stand in real life as a result is kind of fuzzy, and there's a lot of up in the air talk and not a lot of doing practically. There's also a moon trine Mars on Wednesday, and this helps us go after what we believe in and pursue our actions a bit. But that Jupiter-Neptune square with the moon right there can indicate that we are going after what we believe in, but what we believe in might not be realistic or even positive in real life, as opposed to just this abstract idea that really sounds good on paper but doesn't really work in practice. So Wednesday is a really cerebral day, but not necessarily a day where you want to enact some sort of belief into the world necessarily, simply because of the fact, this depends on the gravity of the situation, but simply due to the fact that we probably won't be rooted in reality and will be driven by high ideals that may not be of utilitarian use to morality in general. Thursday the 31st, we have a moon conjunct to Venus, and later in the day, the moon trine to Uranus. So the moon conjunct Venus, it's really a loving, easy energy. We are overall open to feeling in general. There's a sensuality and a flow, especially in the sign of Sagittarius, which does have a more lighthearted spirit to it already. And the moon trine Uranus gives an inspirational spark. So this aspect is really great because it's signaling that not only are we feeling more open to gratitude and love, but we're also more open-minded in general, which is a really good thing to have in the midst of a lot of the social climate going on, this open-mindedness. And there's also a Saturn sextile Neptune, which is an ongoing aspect in the sky because it's two outer planets, so they're in conversation for a continuous period of time, but the aspect is exact and potent on this Thursday the 31st. And Saturn sextile to Neptune allows us to have the opportunity to ground our higher beliefs in real life. Like this abstract idea that we want to manifest, the universe is on our side to implement that within the confines of what reality is, which is great along with the moon's aspects, because this ease of feeling and this open-mindedness to feel is then coupled with an ability to ground that into practical steps to take that can benefit us and those around us. Friday the 1st of February, we have a Mars square to Pluto, and this can really be a nagging, difficult aspect to have because it makes us feel as if we are fighting really hard against an endless battle that will never pay off, because what we're fighting against is out to get us, or is manipulative, or is tyrannical in some way that isn't letting us ever get done what we want to get done. And not saying that necessarily we're not fighting against something, but a lot of it might be paranoia, and a lot of it might be emotional irritation that we are projecting onto someone being out to get us when the circumstances might just not be in our favor overall. It's not necessarily some power that is fighting against us, keeping us from getting where we want to go or achieving what we want to achieve. And the danger here with Aries and Capricorn being involved is that the more we feel like we're being confined in that Saturnine way and not getting what we want and being limited, the more we might fight in this Aries impulsive, aggressive way. And here we may need to simply change the perspective and not look at things so linear or simply as X and Y, and not saying that one causes the other, and instead being open to working smarter, not working harder, and maybe working smarter means taking a different route to get what we want to get. The same day, on Friday the 1st, the moon will conjunct Saturn sextile Neptune, which does help this because it makes us more open and grounded to hearing what could realistically be done to ground these dreams and these desires that we have into what will actually work with our current emotional and literal climate. Saturday the 2nd, we have a moon conjunct Pluto and Venus trine Uranus. And moon conjunct Pluto is very much feeling deeply intense, maybe buried things inside of us. It's getting to the bottom of things. We're operating on I keep saying it, but deep level. We're allowed to confront these really inner, maybe demons, maybe just hidden parts of ourselves when the moon and Pluto are configured like this. But there's a curiosity too with Pluto, so this isn't bad at all necessarily. It's pretty neutral. There's just the possibility to go deep, and depending on how comfortable you are with that, we can feel certain ways about that. Venus trine Uranus definitely does lighten the mood and gives us an explorative quality to this possible curiosity we can have with the moon Pluto. So we're both feeling really intensely and knowing that there's an ability to get to the root of the emotions inside. And with Venus trine Uranus, we kind of want to go ahead and see what's new with that. It totally adds some energy and excitement to an aspect that the moon conjunct Pluto and Capricorn can be kind of dreary and overly serious. So these two energies do help to balance each other out, and it's a day that I think of representing kind of the situation where if you're just like going out to coffee with someone and suddenly you're talking about your childhood traumas, but it doesn't feel weird, like you just feel close to the person enough to open up even though you don't know them super well. It's kind of a day where I could see that happening, where you're totally okay sharing things that may feel like oversharing on another day, and everyone's cool with it, and it's just, you know, a day where things are coming up, but it's chill. This week offers a lot of energy to explore and to get new insight into things that really may not be working for you in terms of patterns, and break out of those molds. And the frustration that might be coming up is the doorway into breaking free from what may be holding you back, and what paradigms and situations require some courage on your part, but will pay off in the long run with that spark of excitement that you know is there if you take that opportunity. So I hope this was helpful. I do private consultations at the link below. Like, subscribe, do all the things, and I will see you soon.